Okay. It's Old Man G here, again from Red Devil Studios, to discuss, dissect, and debate. And today we're going to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka's move to Manchester United being imminent. So there are numerous reports in the UK, from news outlets, The Guardian, Sky, Talksport, BBC, etc., saying that Manchester United have agreed a fee of around £55 million for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's probably going to make him one of the most expensive fullbacks in Premier League history, actually. So yeah, it seems to be that Manchester United, at least the word seems to be that they've agreed this fee around Wan-Bissaka and that he will become a part of Manchester United in due course. Now he is, from what I'm aware, at the Under-21 World Cup. So I imagine there'll be some issue in terms of just sort of either he'll be able to like leave early or maybe do afterwards. I don't know, but there'll obviously be some delay before there is some sort of official announcement. But yeah, I think it's a really good. I think it's a statement. It's a really good signing. As I've said in previous videos, we're getting a bit concerned that Manchester United really weren't um, making any signings. Yes, okay, I know some Daniel James, but I mean statement signings, not development signings, statement signings. I mean, you could argue that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a development signing potentially, but if you watch the Premier League season last season for Crystal Palace as a right back, he was absolutely brilliant. Very good defensively, very good at tackles, interceptions. And to be honest, it would be a massive improvement over Ashley Young. Now you could argue that um, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Diego Dalot can sort of compete in that area. Although I hear reports that Diego Dalot is going to be pushed forward and be more used as a winger, which I'm not entirely sure about. I think there are better options out there. But irrespective, certainly from a defensive point of view, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to strengthen Manchester United immensely. Is it worth 55 million? Yeah, in this transfer market, I think he is. I think when you think that a couple of years back, the likes of Carl Walker, I think Danilo, and even likes of Stones, that went to City, they were all 50 million. 50 million at least. So if you want to get a very good fullback, these days you need to spend at least 50 million, even if it's a 50 million. For a signing from Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are under no obligation to sell, and they want to be reasonably compensated. And 55 million, I think, is reasonable. Anything higher, at a push, I'd have probably said 60. Anything more than that, I don't think that's. I think we can invest the money elsewhere. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased about this signing. I'm very pleased. I think it will definitely strengthen the squad. I like to think that this would mean the end of Ashley Young starts. That we can really strengthen at the back. I am interested to see if this is the beginning of like other signings being announced. Potentially, as we're hearing with Bruno Fernandes, or at least another midfield player. Given the fact that we know we're losing Ander Herrera. And in the season, Pogba looks like he wants to go. So we really need to work in that midfield area because, frankly, Matic, Pereira, McTominay, and Fred doesn't really strike fear into the hearts of opponents right now. They're not all bad. Well, okay, Matic is frankly a yard of pace, but we really need to strengthen that midfield area, and that's not even beginning to mention the centre back situation, or even a replacement forward striker, given that Lukaku is rumoured to have obviously accepted some personal terms of Inter Milan, or a right winger where we need to strengthen as well. So, I'm happy. I'm really happy that we're actually seem to be moving ahead, and I hope that Ollie does get the backing. As I said yesterday, I really hope that, because the worst thing for me to happen in this transfer window is that you know Ole Gunnar does not get the backing from Ed Woodward, from the board, to spend to make this team his own, and then we can judge him based on how he makes the team his own. But I really don't think that you can, considering how much money that, okay, we're excluding David Moyes, excluding how much money that Jose Mourinho and the other guy had, Van Gaal, sorry, to spend in excess of £200 million. Yes, okay, make you argue that's a couple of over transfer windows plus, but I just think that he needs backing. We need a rebuild where we essentially, it feels anyway like we've been doing this for 6 years. It feels like we've just gone right back. Where's the progression been in Manchester United Football Club in the 6 years since Alex Ferguson, took over? We're in or around the top four. Okay, we got a Europa League, we got an FA Cup, we got a League Cup. That's about it basically. Maybe it was a Community Shield, I think. But yeah, essentially 3 trophies that really no one really cares about. That, I mean, maybe the FA Cup, but no one really cares about that as such. A Europa League, an FA Cup, and League Cup. 2 of which were won by Mourinho, I think, in his first season. One of them obviously even Van Gaal, and that's about it in 6 years. Spending in excess of potentially 500, between 500 600 million, and that's what you have to show for it. Not even competing for the Premier League title, not even progression in Champions League. 2 quarterfinals in 6 years. It's not good enough. And I really want Ole to succeed. I really, really do. But I just feel that if he's not given the funding and he's not given the time, he's going to fail. And we're going to be in a situation in December where the team doesn't work together, and they're disgruntled, they don't play, and the results aren't coming. And the worst situation you can have is that you bring in players like Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka, who are still relatively young, coming to a big team, and they now start to adopt the attitudes of certain players in the club that aren't playing for the badge fully, and just basically end up becoming mediocre players. Because and I open this to the comments. I want them. Can you name a single player that's played Manchester United in 6 years that has actually improved, that's actually developed? Aside from maybe David De Gea, which other player has improved, has gotten better, that you can say Manchester United made this player a better player? I can't think of any. That's really concerning, because we can spend as much money as we want, but if we're bringing in players, only for those players to end up being mediocre, and then essentially, we're wasting money for a start, and 2, we need to start looking at the coaching staff, the structures behind the boards, the scouting, everything, so that we can actually try and turn this around. Otherwise, Manchester United is potentially approaching a decade of, frankly, obscurity. With 6 years post Alex Ferguson, 4 more years, it's 10 years, and we're not anywhere. So I know that's a rant, and I know it's not all doom and gloom. We want to be positive, This is a positive thing, So fingers crossed, in the next week or so, this move is announced. We can officially say that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a Manchester United player, and I will certainly be going live, uploading a video anyway, when that happens. But yeah, please just give me your thoughts. And do you think that this is a good move? This is a good decision? Are we spending too much money? Are we spending less money? Where else do you think that we need to strengthen? Like I said, I repeat. I think this is a very good signing. I think he was one of the best fullback players. Yeah, I remember watching him for Crystal Palace, and he was a beast. And the thing is, even against the top teams, I noticed that he was a beast. And that's what we need. We need players that are prepared to play and fight, even against the big teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, and in the Premier League, and go toe to toe and really cause them problems. So I'm very, very excited, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be announced soon. So yeah, thank you guys all for listening. Please leave your comments below. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could like this, share and subscribe, and become part of Red Devil Studios. Hope you have a great day, and cheers.